The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
Well, the question is, who will the people of the area be? And according to an exclusive report by Reuters, the United States is in fact weighing the possibility of establishing an American-led provisional government in Gaza. I mean, I feel like the American government is currently having a difficult time governing its own country, but I digress. So 5 anonymous sources spoke to Reuters for this story. Here's what we know about it based on their reporting. They told reporters that the proposed provisional government would not have Hamas nor the Palestinian Authority involved at all. Instead, it would be led by an official from the United States. Palestinian technocrats would serve in other roles within the provisional government. And by the way, if that's not bad enough, other countries could be invited to join the government. But Reuters sources did not say which countries. And obviously, that is very concerning. Now, currently there's no timeline for how long that government might last after taking control of the Gaza Strip following the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, which, make no mistake about it, Donald Trump is still very much gung-ho on doing. Now, the sources compared the proposal to the Coalition Provisional Authority in Iraq that Washington established in 2003. That worked out real well, didn't it? Yeah. So the provisional government would oversee Gaza until it's demilitarized and stabilized. Keep in mind that Gaza currently doesn't have a military. Hamas doesn't have a military. I know we keep referring to what's happening in Gaza as a war, but you kind of need two sides with militaries to engage in a war. In reality, you have a bunch of people, millions of people trapped in a strip of land who are just being bombed indiscriminately, killed indiscriminately. This has been the case for well over a year, and Americans are paying for it. Yeah, that's the current situation in Gaza. Yeah, okay. So, last weekend, NBC News reported the following. Trump has been frustrated with Netanyahu's decision to begin a new military offensive in Gaza, which the president sees as at odds with his plan for rebuilding there, and has said the new Israeli offensive in Gaza is a wasted effort because it will make it harder to rebuild, according to two sources. Now, understand, Trump has never given us any indication that he wants to rebuild the Gaza Strip on behalf of the Palestinians. He wants to obviously establish an American-led government and rebuild the prime real estate in the Gaza Strip for himself. He sees a real estate development opportunity. That's what this is really about. That's probably the most important motivating factor behind Trump's subtle changes in US foreign policy toward the Middle East. Another red flag is the fact that right-wing Israeli politicians have come out in support of Trump's proposal. I mean, that's the biggest red flag, let's keep it real. And his proposal, again, includes forcibly evacuating, ethnically cleansing Palestinian civilians from the land that they are entitled to. But behind closed doors, some Israeli officials have also been weighing proposals over the future of Gaza that sources say assumes that there won't be a mass exodus of Palestinians from Gaza, such as a US-led provisional administration. Among those include restricting reconstruction to designated security zones, dividing the territory, and establishing permanent military bases, said four sources, who include foreign diplomats and former Israeli officials briefed on the proposals. The future of Gaza, the future of the Palestinian people who have been suffering in Gaza, who have been, experiencing their loved ones get slaughtered in Gaza, the future doesn't look good for them. I want the war to end. Obviously, the motivating factors that influenced Trump to want to end the war concern me because it's not really about, ending the bloodshed because it's immoral. It's about creating a situation in which the US can come in and essentially engage in a land grab. The Israelis very likely think, yeah, let's make the US think they're gonna benefit from this. Obviously, Israel has its own issues with settlers who have been eyeing the Gaza Strip to build settlements for a long time. We've already seen flyers and advertising material from various organizations wanting to build settlements in the Gaza Strip. And it's so incredibly frustrating that you see what's happening as an American who's totally against this, and you feel powerless to stop it. But make no mistake, this is beyond immoral. I don't think the United States should have any business in governing stolen land that had just been ethnically cleansed of Palestinian civilians. And so far, that's one of the proposals that we're seeing coming from the Trump administration. Doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna happen. Trump is a wild card. His policies are unstable. You never know which way he's gonna go in. Remember, he was totally in favor of bombing the nuclear sites in Iran, but clearly he has totally backed away from that, says he doesn't want any kind of war with Iran. He wants to enter a new nuclear deal, which is great. I hope he does do that. So we don't know if this is actually gonna come true, if he's actually going to try to install some weird American puppet government that might have some Israelis involved. We're gonna have to wait and see. But this doesn't look good, and it kind of informs you a little better on why it is that Trump has soured on Netanyahu. Netanyahu wants to continue the war. Trump wants it to stop so he can rebuild. But who he wants to rebuild for is the most important detail to the story. It ain't for the Palestinians.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.